What's up, everybody? Welcome back to this week's episode of the Tesla Geek Show. I'm Eli.
And I'm Anwar Beck. On this week's episode of the Tesla Geek Show, we're going to talk about Tesla's non-marketing marketing plan, particularly their referral program. And who best to talk about this than the number one referrer of Teslas in the world, Mr. Andy Slye. We have him as a guest on the show.
And this week's episode of the Tesla Geek Show is brought to you by EvanX. EvanX is the Tesla community's accessory store, and check out their website now. They've had some amazing specials going on for the holidays. Some of our very favorite accessories are on sale there now. All right. Without further ado, let's welcome in the world's #1 Tesla referrer and our guest, 11 out of 10 of the hour, Andy Slye.
Woo!
What's going on? That was the best introduction I've ever had. Thank you.
Are you ready to rumble? Don't sue me for saying that. The guy who owns a patent, I'm not interested in the fight. Andy, seriously though, we're super excited to have you on the show. And for those of you watching, what you probably don't know is it's actually 30 minutes late into our recording time because we've all been behind the scenes geeking out. So Andy, thanks for bearing with us. Andy, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on. This has been so much fun to hear your guys' podcast. I was catching up on it, and I just listened to the episode with Tesla Raj and talking about FSD beta. So I got me all excited, and I honestly haven't even watched any videos because I just want to surprise myself whenever I get it. I still haven't got it yet. So, Elon, if you're listening, hit me up.
All right, we'll throw out a tweet with that. We release this episode, Andy Slye for FSD beta. Although we got to be careful doing that because everybody, it's funny. With the beta program, people just assume that everybody in it somehow has influence of who was chosen. And I could definitely say I don't, because I've had a number of people ask, can you get me beta? And I'm like, I don't even know how I got picked for beta. So if they've looked at my driving profile of the speed limit versus the speeds that I drive most of the time, I'm surprised I'm a candidate. In fact, FSD beta has actually made me drive safer than normal because you do not want to text and drive on a beta build. Probably shouldn't say that on the podcast. All right, Andy, so the world knows you as the world's leading referrer, and rightfully so, but let's go back to the beginning real quick. Tell us the story about how, when, why you got into Tesla.
Yeah, it's been, I think 12 years now since the first time I ever heard about Tesla, and I'll try to make it short. Basically, I first learned about Tesla in 2008. I was in college, and I remember seeing Jason Calacanis get a Roadster. And I've always been into tech. And when I had my YouTube channel, I have a YouTube channel that's tech based. But whenever I was watching the people that I looked up to, mainly like Marquez and KBHD, he had a Tesla. And when he first got the Model S, I was just like, oh my gosh. I was like, that is the most incredible car I've ever seen. I never thought I would own a Tesla someday until they finally said that they were going to release the mass market Tesla, which ended up being the Model 3. And I stood in line. I drove to Cincinnati, stood in line for an hour and reserved my Model 3 on before it was even revealed later that night. And ever since then, I just was enamored by Tesla. I remember the Oatmeal. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Oatmeal comic, but he did a comic about the Model S, and as soon as I saw that was back in 2012 or so, and I was like, that is the perfect encapsulation of what Tesla is. And if you haven't seen that, look it up. It is incredible. And that's when I fell in love. I was like, okay, my next car will be a Tesla. And so I reserved my Model 3, and I got my Model 3, and as I had my tech channel, and I knew that I was going to review the Model 3 on my channel, and I knew it was going to be a part of the channel, but I didn't know how much it would have an influence on my channel. And when I got my Model 3 in 2018, it was around mid 2018, I reviewed it. I did a full review, and that kind of sparked and kicked off, and I ended up being the top search result on YouTube for Tesla Model 3 review for the longest time. I ended up getting millions of views, and I didn't even know about the referral program until I did a video where Elon actually liked it on Twitter. It was a video where I went and picked up Uber riders in my town of Louisville, Kentucky, and got the reactions to the Model 3, because that was back when the Model 3 was brand new. Nobody knew anything about it, and it was the talk of the town. And I made a video about people's reactions on when they got into my Model 3, and that's when I logged into my account one day, and I saw that I had a few referrals, and because I had posted the link in the description of the videos, and yeah, and that's when I just like, oh, this could be something. And I eventually started making more Tesla videos throughout the end of 2018. And within the span of about 2 months, I became the world's top referrer with like it was like 200 and something referrals at the time. So that was about 2 years ago. And I've been the top referrer ever since, which is incredible to say. I didn't think I'd ever spend this long on top, but it's been awesome.
So what is your referral count at today, as of the last you checked it? Which if you don't refresh it every 5 minutes, it might update with the kind of traction you get. So what's your current referral count at?
Yeah, but it's funny because like back in 2018, when I was like on the mission to get, the Roadster, and I was checking it like every day, and like every other hour probably. And I haven't checked it. I stopped checking it as frequently, like less frequently now, like recently. But I just checked it because the whole Roadster thing, which we'll talk about. But I'm at like 1240. I'm at like 1240 something. So
1,240 plus Teslas that you refer through your referral code.
And yeah,
and what's crazy from the story I'm hearing, the first few videos you made, your referral code wasn't on it. Like you had no clue. You're kind of just like a tech YouTuber. You're like reviewing your own vehicle, but you didn't even know about the referral program originally.
Yeah, no, I had no idea. I had no idea until, because like,
here's something crazy. You're not the first person I've heard say that. There's another guy I know that's a creator that he actually didn't find out about it till after it was over, because he DM'd me and he said, "Yo, did you hear about the referral program?" And I'm like, "How did you not know?" Right? But like you didn't, right? Because like in the Model 3 era, like when you got yours, people didn't know. So you talked about your transition going from tech YouTube, and you still do a tech YouTube. So first, tell people what your channel is and how that transition has evolved from you just purely doing tech to now. I would say you have an audience that is probably equally as large looking at your tech look at Tesla as your other tech as well. And I feel like half the videos you make now are more Tesla. So talk about that transition, what that was like for you as a creator, what that meant for your channel, and like who followed you.
Yeah, I think it's always a fascinating story to look back on, because my YouTube channel is basically my name. It's Andy Slye. So you'll find me if you search my name. And basically, before I got my Tesla, I would just review a lot of Apple stuff. I did a lot of, I was doing like Apple stuff and the typical tech reviewer back, in 2015, 2016, stuff like that. Doing just like consumer electronics.
I got to jump in real quick. Do you want to see what microphone I'm using and who made a video about it?
Oh, dude. Yeah. The
you,
OG.
Bro, there's a video of you like 5-7 years younger.
Yes.
I watched how to use this mic properly. I'm not kidding. I meant to tweet it out and send it to you, but I looked at it. I was like, holy crap, that's Andy Slye.
Yeah, it's funny. Blue Snowball, like the Blue Snowball or the Blue mics, like those are some of my most popular videos of all time. It's crazy. I don't know. It's something about those microphones. It's like the YouTube standard podcaster standard mic. And I love Blue microphones. And that's basically what I was doing. I was reviewing like consumer electronics, stuff like that. And anything I get my hands on, really, like anything that was tech related that I could review, because that's just what I was interested in. I love doing it. And when I got my Tesla, I was like, well, this is like what I've been waiting. This is like the holy grail of tech products, right? And when I got it, I spent like, I don't know, 6 weeks, a month, like just gathering my thoughts and reviewing it and building this review. I wanted to have the best review because I wanted to give the people what I needed. Because when I was buying my Model 3, obviously I was one of the first production Model 3. So I had no way of like watching a full review from an everyday consumer. And I was like, you know what? People need this. People need a full, thorough review of this car, because this is a game-changing car. People need to know about it. And so I had so much fun. And I think, once I did that first full review of the Model 3, I realized how much fun it was to do videos about this amazing, beautiful, progressive car. And I was able to kind of take the other techniques that I have. I have a videography business on the side, so I film weddings. And so I was able to kind of fuse these things, these skill sets that I've built. I took some of my videography skills from my wedding filmmaking business and kind of infused them with my tech review skill set. And I think it kind of created this, at the time, it was kind of like this unique blend of like this sort of cinematic tech review of like the hottest car and the hottest tech product in the world. And I think that's what like just kind of skyrocketed my referrals, because my videos, I basically just like they did a handful of videos in 2018 basically led to me becoming the top referrer. So
and whatever, I mean, I follow you and Marquez and these guys religiously for years and years. I think the thing that was unique is you two are the first people that I remember that are kind of like massive YouTubers to really, because you've done this for years and years, right? The tech review part of it. So you've got this, like, your reviews are very professional compared to, I mean, like, I guess I'm a prime example. Like, I got into YouTube and podcasting and stuff just because of my passion, but you guys are already pretty popular on YouTube. You've done quite a few reviews and you have, like, you guys are professional, I guess, content creators or YouTubers at the time. In my opinion, that's where the video really like resonated with people and went so viral, is I think the level, the quality of the videos that you created. But it was like a phenomenon, dude. Like the when I think Model 3 review, I think Andy Slye. Like, your videos are really what like took that to the next level. And then I think out of everybody else, like Marquez and maybe Dan Markham, those are the three people that I think of that are already kind of like big time YouTubers that spend a lot of time in the YouTube space, you know, talking about Tesla. But to me, like, the amazing thing was that I think you applied your skills that you acquired over, I mean, you've been, when you started talking about Tesla, you've already been doing tech review YouTube channel for what, 4 or 5 years probably, right?
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. And it's an honor to be even mentioned with those guys. Cause you know, I'm a big fan of, I'm nowhere near as big as Marquez is. I mean, he's somebody I've always looked up to. I've always followed, and I learned a lot from him just by watching his reviews and his videos. And I try to take what I learned and apply it to Tesla, that basically, and more specifically the Model 3, you know, and because he's such a big YouTuber, Marquez is, that he's still obviously a general tech reviewer, and I was on that path, and then, you know, I discovered Tesla, and then I got the Model 3, and I kind of just shifted over to doing really heavily focused on Tesla in the past couple of years, because it's just it's so much fun. It's so much fun to do, and Tesla is such Tesla is such an interesting company. You guys know this better than anybody else. I mean, you guys love talking about Tesla and any chance you get. Geeks. So, and it's just an exciting company. There's no other more exciting company right now than Tesla, and it's so much fun to be able to do videos about these cars and other products as well.
You know that meme where it shows like the person gonna go like the straight path and then this thing that distracts them? I feel like it's like Andy Slye trying to be a tech YouTuber. Tesla, where he takes that hard off ramp. You know what I'm talking about, right? You know that meme format. You've got to.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, like this car
is
like
Andy. The Tesla showed up and it was like, I'm going this way, baby.
Yeah, we can put that together and we tweet that out with the episode.
We're going to put that meme together for the
I like that.
Episode,
I like that.
Because like, that's exactly what came to my mind when you're like, I was just doing this thing, and then this thing showed up, and all of a sudden I was going that way. And I'm like,
well, yep. I can tell you the exact moment that happened.
Tell us.
It was, when I went and reserved my Model 3 in Cincinnati, because I live in Louisville, Kentucky, and it's about an hour and a half drive. So I traveled up there with my girlfriend at the time, wife now, and we stood in line in the rain, reserved the Model 3. She thought it was crazy, right?
Sight unseen, most likely, right? Because it was before the unveil.
Yeah, right. It was like that morning before the unveil. Like, so I didn't know what the hell it looked like. I didn't know what to expect. My wife, you know, and then she, you know, Jamie thought it was crazy. So anyways, I made a video. I kind of vlogged this video. So I went back home, edited this video, put it all together as quick as I possibly could, and uploaded it before the Model 3 was even announced, I think. So I uploaded it, and then I went to bed and I watched the unveil in my bed. And then the next morning I woke up and my video had gotten the most views I had ever gotten in a 24-hour period. It was like, at the time, I think it was like 30,000 views, like overnight. Wow. Which I never had that before. And I was like, whoa, so people are really interested in Tesla. Like, this could be a thing. So that's what the spark was like then, like when I actually made that vlog of me reserving the Model 3. And then, you know, I actually entered the Project Love Day contest. Do you guys remember that?
I remember.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So that was like before I had to wait basically 2 years. And so I'm still doing, you know, normal tech videos during this time before I get my Model 3. But like in 2017, about a year before I get my Model 3, I'm a year into waiting for after my reservation, and I entered the Project Love Day contest, and I put like my heart and soul into the video that I made. And I wanted to win so bad because I don't know I can't even remember what the prize was, but it was just so much fun to make that video. I actually had to meet up with I just went to my local supercharger because I didn't know anybody with a Tesla. Nobody around here had a Tesla that I knew. So I just went, I hung out at the Tesla supercharger for hours until somebody came with a Model X and was charging. And I walked up to him. I was like, hey, I'm a YouTuber. I'm entering this contest. I need can I get footage of your Tesla just for this video? And they were so nice. They were so nice about it. They let me do it. They were sure. They let me get into the car. I was able to film inside the car and got a drone shot. Anyways, it was the only Tesla footage I had for that video. So, but that was so much fun. And that's kind of, I had fun. For 2 years, I basically had to make Tesla videos without having a Tesla. You know what I'm saying?
I can't even imagine. I mean, that actually a little bit. Have you ever met Ryan McCaffrey of Ride the Lightning?
Yeah. Ryan, we've met a few times.
Okay, you guys have met.
Yeah.
I feel like there's some similarities there in your guys' story to how this creating content about this thing even prior to owning it. I love the commitment, by the way, just hanging out at the supercharger, waiting for someone to show up. And Tesla owners are such big fans of the whole thing that somebody else excited about it, of course they said yes. I would have been shocked, honestly, if they said no.
Right.
For real. Right. It would have been oh, you met the one asshole. They exist. We know about them. Dude, I gotta jump in with something real quick because when I ran away, I went to go get a package that just showed up at my door. Dude, check this out. So I get the production samples of episode 4 of The Adventures of Starman. I've got it.
Oh my God, dude. That looks sick.
There's the main cover. Check this out. This is the alternative cover for the Patreon members. This one, you guys are going to lose your shit. This is only going to be available on Evan X's store. Look at this thing.
Dude, that is nuts.
That's big oil, baby.
Wow.
This guy is a straight up monster. And then this is the League of Extraordinary Starman cover.
Dude, those are epic.
All of these are full on wraparounds, the art on this is
Andy and I are getting copies of those, right?
Yeah,
Founder Series Starman.
Founder Series,
dude. Look at the art on this, man. It's phenomenal. Oh my God, I almost opened up to the final page. Yeah, you guys can't see. There's some major spoilers in this episode. But so I've been waiting for this package all week.
Andy, during the Boring Company unveil, Eli and I went one by one, starting from Elon and below. Literally every executive at Tesla has this comic. We hand delivered. And who was one of the guys? Is it Jerome that lost his comic that night?
Dude, so Jerome set his down while talking to someone. Someone stole it, and then he sent Raina to find me to that's how I actually connected with Raina.
The president of automotive at Tesla gets a signed copy from Eli, gets it stolen, and freaks out, dude. He freaks out. He sends Elon's secretary to come chase us down to get another copy.
That's how I met Raina. Yeah. He sent it to me to ask for another one because his literally got stolen. I gave one to Franz. Franz thought it was cool as hell. And Franz actually gave me permission to include him as a character. Mm-hmm. So in episode 2, you see Franz in the secret underground boring lab, right? Because that's where their R&D would be, right? Buried under a tunnel. And Franz is in there. We actually consulted with Franz to make sure he liked how we did it. So dude, it's crazy to think that was only 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I do appreciate, I love my Starman. You sent me a couple of issues.
I sent you, I think 1 through 3, right?
Yeah. I keep it at my desk at work, and I show it to people walk in, and they're like, oh, dude, this is so cool.
I'm gonna send you episode 4 now that they're all.
It's so professional, bro. I brag to all my friends. I'm like, no big deal. My friend, he created this comic, NBD, you know. They're artists from Marvel drawing this shit, and the storyline is just epic.
Yeah, it's incredible.
No, actually. You know what's crazy? So, we're talking about Tesla's referral program, the way they market without marketing, but YouTubers and content creators are a big part of the story. I remember during the Model 3 unveil, I met Marquez for the first time because he won Project Love Day.
Yes,
and
he did.
Marquez, I forget, some of his friends, they were standing in line right next to me, basically, to ride in the Model 3 for the first time. And then during Boring Company, I met Casey Neistat. Casey is crazy, dude. He's amazing. I clicked with that guy instantly when I met him. He grabbed my camera, and I'll have to share it on Twitter, but Casey and I created a video together. He literally like met me within 3 seconds. He's like, oh, let's create a YouTube video together. So he grabs my phone. I have like a recording of me and Casey Neistat creating a YouTube video talking about Tesla. Like off the cuff, we're just standing in line at the Boring Company to go into the tunnel and all this stuff. But like, so you, Marquez, Casey, Dan from What's Inside, David Dobrik, you guys are like world famous YouTubers. And I love the fact that like the true genuine passion that you guys have for Tesla is amazing to me. Because I mean, that's how Andy and I think first met for the first time, was at one of these unveils, or it was maybe at the SpaceX event or something. But like, we're meeting all these people. Eli and I have made friends with all these YouTubers because they go to all the events just like us. They're just as much as Andy. We call people like us 11 out of 10s. People that are like a little bit abnormal when it comes to like fanboydom of all things Elon and Tesla. It's amazing to like have met you guys at these events, and like we click instantly because of that like passion that we share for Tesla, for SpaceX, I guess all things Elon. So I think that's really cool. Maybe we can kind of transition now to talk about this, like Tesla's non-marketing marketing plan, right? Let me set up the stage, because a lot of this, I don't know if people understand this or not, but like the Tesla referral program, the whole like Elon doesn't believe in traditional marketing, or for most of you, I don't know if you realize this or not, or listeners, you've never seen a Tesla commercial during the Super Bowl or in general. They don't have an ad spot on any podcast. Tesla does not do marketing. Literally, the marketing budget is zero, traditional marketing. I think a lot of that comes from Elon's days at PayPal, because PayPal had this like non-traditional way of like marketing to people, right? It's using your clients, using your consumers, and the word of mouth, which is, in my opinion, the very best way to market no matter what, right? No matter social media, internet technology, whatever, humans do best when communicating one-on-one. So Elon basically brought that idea from PayPal to Tesla. And the content, or the idea behind it was, you build an amazing product instead of wasting money, hundreds of millions of dollars that like Ford and GM and Toyota, these guys use to basically make all these commercials we see every day. Elon said, let's not waste that money on marketing. Let's put it into the products. Let's put it into R&D and just create these incredible products that people fall in love with. And they naturally just love, and anything you love, you tend to talk about and share, right? So I think that's the essence of what we're talking about, is this like people like, I think Andy, you're like the perfect story, right? You waited 2 years, probably in like crazy anticipation, to get this amazing vehicle. You're a techie guy to the level that you have your own tech YouTube channel. And that's what I talk about, is this potential. I don't know what you call it exactly, but like, I'm sure like when people first get their Tesla, the first thing you want to do is not only go experience it and drive it yourself, but then you tell everybody about it, right? You tell your neighbors, your family, your friends, anybody that will listen, just how amazing the product is. I think Elon and Tesla, through this referral program, do a great job of capturing that energy. So it's kind of this like, it's marketing, but it's kind of like this very different way of looking at marketing. So Andy, maybe you can like talk to that. Like, what did you think about this referral program when you found out about it initially? Or how did you find out about the Tesla referral program? Because most people have no clue what this, even to this day, like I've got friends that buy Teslas now that don't really know about it until I tell them about it.
Yeah. It's interesting, because after being in the Tesla community, you kind of think that like, oh, everybody knows about it, but that's not the case. Like for me, example, I had no idea when I got my Model 3, I had no idea about the referral program. And I guess I should probably explain to people who aren't aware of the referral program, even though it's probably a small amount of people listening to this podcast. But basically, Tesla, if you buy a Tesla, if you're a Tesla owner, you will get your own referral link, and you can share that link with anybody else. And if they buy a Tesla through that link, you both get some perks. So for example, right now you both get 1,000 miles of free supercharging. Well, the referrer, the person who's doing the referring, they also get a chance to win a free brand new Tesla. That's the current program right now. It's been through several different iterations over the years. And so back when I got my Model 3, a Model 3 owner did not have a Tesla. You did not get a referral link. I could, or is that wrong? So basically, if
you're absolutely right. Initially,
right?
the referral program only qualified for Model S and X. The way I think about it, I think those cars just had way more margin at the time than Model 3, right? Because Model 3 was a mass production vehicle, and Tesla, right around the time, like it was blind luck more than anything, dude. Like when you were sharing your videos and all that, that's when they switched it.
Yeah,
When people ordered Model 3s, it did not qualify up until, like, I remember at the time thinking, oh my God, like this Andy guy's going to lead the globe here in a second, because it makes sense, right? Because Model 3 is just amount of sheer volume of Model 3 sold at the time was like 10x what they were selling in S's and X's in the beginning. Now it's even more than that, right? I mean, like Model S and X's, I think Elon said in the past, they make them just out of like, I don't know, just like the passion they have for the vehicle. I think like the economics is really in the Model 3 and the Model Y, the mass production vehicle.
Right. Yeah, no, you're right. So Model 3 owners did have a referral link, but they weren't eligible. Like you could only refer Model S or X.
Mm-hmm.
So you couldn't get any type of reward or perk for referring Model 3 owners or Model 3 customers. So when I got my Model 3, I obviously nobody. So when I started making videos about my Model 3, nobody was watching my videos about my Model 3 and then going and buying a Model S or a Model X. So
right.
I was kind of like figuring, oh, well, nobody, like, what's the point of even having a code? People are watching they're buying a Model 3. They want a Model 3. So when I did started doing my first couple of videos about my Model 3, I think I put my referral link in the description once I realized that I could do that. And then, but like nothing was happening because people were not buying Model S or X from my videos.
Mm-hmm.
But they made the switch, like you said, like it was around, I don't know, August or something, August, September. And I got my Model 3 in like right at the very end of April. So I had my Model 3 review had been up for like a couple of months, and they just turned the switch one day. They just flipped the switch and they were like, okay, yes, all Tesla vehicles are now eligible for referrals. And as soon as that happened, that's when my referrals started kicking in. And I didn't even know, I was getting them because I was not getting any type of email notification like that. So I just stumbled upon my account one day. When you log into your Tesla account, you see the referrals right there on your dashboard. And I saw like 5 names listed, and I was like, whoa, what the heck is going on? And I was like, whoa, so people are actually like clicking my referral link after they watch my videos and they're ordering a Tesla. I never thought that would ever happen. Like people ordering a $50,000 car just from watching your video. But it did. And it just just started growing from there and it just literally just skyrocketed. And that's the thing. Like,
let me jump in real quick. I've had some people that are skeptical that the content creators like yourself who are making it are actually causing sales. They're just like, oh, they're going to buy it anyway. They just refuse his referral code. I don't buy that, honestly, because Tesla is a product that you couldn't have heard of it through advertising. And if you knew anyone in real life that had a referral code, they would have been already pumping you to use it. So these people who use your referral code, you were the reason that they found out about and decided to buy Tesla. Like you were instrumental to them buying it, because like, if not, they would have used someone they knew. But you were the person they knew through the internet who convinced them that, yeah, they need to own a Tesla. So congratulations, man. Like, it's a huge impact on the swing of sales for the growth of this electric revolution.
Thanks. Yeah, no, I just love the fact that like my whole thing, I have nothing to gain about getting more referrals.
How many miles do you have at this point? Like 63 million, 65 million supercharging miles?
You have like 1.6 million. So
okay.
Yeah, and they do expire. So, but like I genuinely like love the feeling of just seeing more people get a Tesla. I love seeing like that number grow, and like seeing like the amount of like the pounds of gasoline saved, which is like almost 2 million pounds of gasoline saved so far, which is, I love seeing that number go up. But like, yeah, no, I know there are some people out there who obviously like probably were already set on buying a Tesla, but like, and they ended up watching my video and learned about they could get a referral code. And, but I've had so many people reach out to me, over the past couple of years saying like, hey, you're your videos are like the reason I bought my Model 3. And
That's awesome.
I'm like, dude, like, yeah, I was like, that's so awesome. And I thank every single one of those people who use my code, because, you know, I'm just glad I was able to provide what I wanted. Like I said earlier, I wanted to just provide high quality, informative Model 3 videos, because at the time, you know, I couldn't find it. Nobody was doing it. But now, you know, and let's go back to Anwar, your point about like the non-marketing marketing, as far as like, yeah, Tesla doesn't spend any money on traditional advertising, and they let a lot of us do their advertising for them. And Tesla's honestly, like, you know, it's one of the very few companies who can do that. I mean, you look on YouTube now and you search Tesla, you see so many Tesla videos now. And people are just making Tesla videos that never ever would have made any type of car video ever before. And it's all because the product is amazing. The company is a very unique, interesting, progressive, forward-thinking company, obviously with a unique visionary in Elon Musk. And so it's like, it's just perfect storm for having this. And Tesla's like, I think they are, I made a whole video about this, but like a lot of people think like the referral program was a problem. It's like a bad decision to do that. They give away all these roadsters. And at the end of the day, like, you're getting all the press from all these big influencers. And I don't even consider myself big when you're talking, you know, comparing me to like, you know, Marquez and David Dobrik and all, and Casey Neistat. Like, those guys they have Teslas. They've made videos about Tesla, and they will make videos about Tesla if they get the, you know, the roadster and stuff like that. So like, you got all these people that are, and no other car company really has a referral program like Tesla. I mean, I can't think of anything. I don't know. I don't think there is. Do you guys know of any?
No, Andy, you hit the nail on the head, dude. Like, and again, even if tomorrow Ford came out with an amazing referral program where you could refer other Ford owners, it is the product. It is Tesla, the brand name. It is this like out of this world product. And Elon was totally right. Like, the last decade, him putting he went all in on the concept of this referral program, saying, make an amazing product, number one, and the product more or less sells itself. But they have this, like, you know, a ripple effect of like, at the beginning, at the middle of this marketing plan is the amazing product. It's the fact that Tesla's making products that make people want to talk about it, and it's just like out of this world. But the ripple effect are people like you, Andy, like, or other influencers talking about it, and it's natural. Ford can't duplicate this. Like, literally, Ford could do a copy and paste of the Tesla referral program. It wouldn't work. People just wouldn't want to listen to it. Wouldn't want to talk about it.
When you want to pitch a friend on buying a Tesla, you would have done it anyway, because it makes their life better, right? Like, everything that Tesla brings, from the electric to the autopilot to like the energy efficiency to the cost of use, the enjoyment of driving, like, it is such a step change in every way that it's like when you got your first iPhone, right? Because that was the only smartphone for years. It was like, yeah, do you want to step into the new century? You got to get one of these. And with Tesla, it's that way. And yeah, you could add that referral program to Ford, but yeah, you know, there's going to be diehards, there's going to be loyalists, and I'm sure the Mach-E is going to be a fine car, but you have to have something where people are obsessed with the product. And I think one of the things Tesla did absolutely genius is they said, instead of spending all that money on product marketing, we're going to spend it on product development. So instead of paying $20,000 per car in marketing, we're going to put $20,000 more into the product. And at the end of the day, word of mouth is going to sell our marketing. And so what Andy said about the way they use the Roadster, it makes a ton of sense, especially when they use the highest cost reward to them, something that is the furthest down the road, right? Roadster is still a year, probably 2 away from production, and they're going to ultimately pay up. But the company got to get to a place where they have a $500 billion market cap, not a $10 trillion market cap, right? Like, Tesla now has more cash on hand than they did market cap at the time, I think, when they first announced this referral program. So like, I think ultimately it's a win-win. And also, this is a supercar. Like, the resale value on these things, especially for the referral winners, they're only making 1,000 Founder Series cars. Those things are going to appreciate so fast, it's not even funny.
Yeah, and it's when you talk about there's kind of two costs that Tesla has for the roadsters that they're giving away. You know, they get the production cost, whatever it costs to actually produce the car, and then they also have the opportunity costs of giving away a car that possibly could have been bought by a real customer. But I still think, you know, they're giving away I don't know, however many roasters they end up giving away. I mean, I think it's up to 80 or something like that as far as the referral winners, but who knows how many of those are actually going to be given away and people are going to be able to pay the taxes to get those. So we'll say like 50. So let's say like 50 roasters go out. Well, the cost of producing those 50 roasters, is it worth all of those sales that came in back when they really needed it in 2018 and 2019, back when people were praying for, I mean, they still do, but praying for Tesla's demise back then, you know, like it was Model 3 was make or break. You know, they had the Model 3 had to be a success and had to be a hit. And people like myself who were Tesla owners who making videos about it, I didn't start making videos just to push my referral code. I didn't think I even could. I didn't even share my referral code in my first few videos. I didn't even like say it out loud on the video. So like I went in making videos because it was just an awesome product and I wanted people to know about it. So just having the referral program is just it's an addition for being an additional perk for having a Tesla. And so like, it's good. And also you look at like kind of the logistics of like having that program. Every Tesla owner starts off with the Tesla app. I mean, it's on your phone at the very beginning, from the very beginning, and no other car company has had that as long as Tesla has. So you have everybody using this app. That's how you can manage all the whole entire referral program. It shows up right on your app. Like it shows you a link to the loot box. You can see your prizes. Like you can't do that with like a Ford or a Chevy. Like not all of their customers have like a Chevy app or a Ford app that they can really use for, you know, the logistics of those referral programs. And I think like they definitely delayed their costs, into 2022 or whenever the Roadster comes out. So they have basically had 4 years of people, pushing their cars, selling these Teslas, by referring people and not really having to pay for that until later on down the line.
Totally. Let me give a quick, I've been involved with Tesla for a while, as an investor, like probably since the Model S days, like 2012, 2013. But in general, I think I bought my first car in 2015, I want to say 2016, something like that. But like Tesla's referral program basically evolved with that ramp, the volume production ramp that they did. So they originally introduced the Model S, I want to say like sometime in 2012, like mid 2012, but like from then they produced the Model S for a couple of years. And originally the first phase of the referral program, the owner that was, if you use the referral code, you would get $1,000 off of the vehicle originally. So it's kind of like a no-brainer to use it. You get $1,000 discount. And then if I'm the owner that's referring Andy to buy another Model S, I, as the current owner, would get $1,000 worth of credit, like Tesla credit, which I could use for service. I could buy products. That was the first phase of that. It was actually super lucrative for owners to talk about it, because imagine if you referred a handful of people, they all got $1,000 off. So it was a no-brainer for your friends to use it, because you're saving them $1,000.
But I bought my Model S. That's what it was. $1,000 for each person. Yep.
And then you have $5,000 to use towards wheels. And it's like Tesla bucks, basically, right? Originally. And then it evolved to a point where they stopped doing that. And then it went into this, and it was still only for Model S in the beginning, because that's all they were producing. Then when the Model X came out, roughly around that time, they started doing unlimited supercharging. So if my friend Bob used my referral code, he would get unlimited supercharging miles in the beginning, which was a no-brainer. Like, why would you not do that? So that was a phase. And then the frenzy started when, like, this is when, like, Andy and all these guys, like, it wasn't why you were involved, but, like, we just, like, timed it perfectly. Is Tesla got into this, they started doing this phase where they were giving away experiences at one point. And I was involved in this stuff too. Like, they were basically doing like, and I think, Andy, this is where we might have all met for the first time, was the SpaceX Falcon Heavy launch was one of the, so they stopped giving away like, like you could originally win like wheels and different things through the referral program. But at one point they started doing experiences. Those included attending the Falcon Heavy launch at Cape Canaveral, like watching it. And I think that's where Andy and Eli and I met Andy for the first time. Remember this T-shirt? I'm wearing that in the honor of this was like the third level at the time.
Yeah. I love that shirt. It's so soft.
Yeah. And then they gave us a little jacket with it as well. And then the other one, which they haven't done yet, is like we get to race the Tesla Semi around the racetrack. It's all these like experiences rather than like gifts. But at one point, for a short time, and I think it was only like 6 months, they started doing the Roadster stuff that I want to jump into now. Is basically every referral at one point qualified for a 2% discount on a next generation Roadster. So if Andy referred somebody by marketing Tesla on his YouTube channel by doing reviews and getting people reassured to buy one, and they use his referral code, you would get 2% off a next gen Roadster. And you could qualify up to 2, right? It was the maximum amount that you could win. And we're actually doing this episode almost like in great timing, because yesterday, Andy, maybe you can talk a little bit about this. All of a sudden, all the referral winners that got the Roasters, yesterday, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we started to see these in our loot box. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? Yeah.
Well, Elon, he brought Christmas early this year, so
Totally.
that's what it felt like. So basically, the iteration of the referral program that I kind of stumbled upon into was around that time where they were giving away the experiences. And I remember when I first saw the first few referrals in my account, I was like, oh my gosh, if I could just go to a Tesla event. That was like my biggest dream. I was like, I just want to go, like, because that was one of the referral awards for like your 5th referral. You'd go to the next Tesla event. I was like, oh my gosh, I would love to just do that. But I was able to. That's another thing, like with the referral program, with the experiences, I've been able to go to like all these events, and I meet basically all of the people that I know in the Tesla community. I probably met them at one of these events or one of these experiences. I met you guys at the Falcon Heavy launch. I remember walking up, Eli was Starman. He was like, dude, I love your videos. I was like, yeah, we took a picture together. I remember that. I still got that picture, but yeah, it was so cool. And I remember, like, I never thought I would like have more than that. But anyways, like I got to go to the Model Y event, got to go to the Cybertruck event. But anyways, like during that time, like nobody knew about the Roadster prizes because those were actually called secret levels. So, when you're referring these people, if you're a Tesla, if you have a Tesla and you're referring these people and you see your referrals coming in on your phone, on your Lootbox app, you like, oh, okay, I see these different prizes. But like once you hit a certain number, that's when it popped up on your phone saying you just unlocked the first secret level. And basically those secret levels could lead you to winning 100% discount off a Founder Series Roadster. And then, so they basically said you could win 2 Founder Series Roadsters through these secret levels through the referral program. And, when I became the top referrer back in late 2018, it was almost exactly 2 years ago. I got an email from Tesla. I still have it saved. Like, you can, after you hit 55 referrals, you've won your first Founder Series Roadster, and then you can do another 50 in the same fashion to win your second Founder Series Roadster. So that's kind of when like all these YouTubers like started, like that was the thing, because a lot of the YouTubers were actually getting most of the top referrals because like people were just watching videos and ordering cars after they watched videos. So that's when mine kind of blew up. And, but yeah, like yesterday, after 2 years of waiting, and all of a sudden I got an email saying your Founder Series Roadster is
November 30th, right? November 30th, 2020.
November 30th. Yep. Yeah.
So crazy. Out of nowhere.
Yeah, out of nowhere. Yeah, like
Christmas gift from Uncle Elon.
yeah. And it just like in my Tesla account I've been waiting for this moment for 2 years, I think, and they finally did. Like I logged in my Tesla account, and bam, there are 2 Founder Series Roadsters in my Tesla account, and it's just like mind blown. Like it's. Yeah, I literally like picked up my wife and just spun her around in the kitchen like last night.
It became real. It became real for the first time, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
The past couple of years.
Yeah, because nobody really knew.
Yeah, our buddy Ben Sullivan still to this day is like, I don't know if this is gonna happen or not. yeah, he's more of a realist. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't blame him because like it's like you never know until you actually like see the car in person. But like this solidified it a little bit more for everybody, I think. And because a lot of people were doubting, like, I get a lot of people on Twitter all the time saying, "Oh, you're never going to get those Roadsters. They're never going to deliver them." And so it's just like that. It's a good step. It's a positive step forward to see like, okay, this is going to happen.
It's in your, and I love it's like Tesla has, if you guys don't own a Tesla, but if you have it in your app, there's a loot box. They basically gamified all this, right? So if you click on your app at the top right, there's a little treasure chest. You click on it so you can track the people you're referring when they took delivery of their vehicle. There you go. How much supercharging remaining? 1.6 million miles. When do those expire? You're gonna have to do like round trip like 100 times over the United States, probably. Yeah.
The Earth. You're gonna have to circumnavigate the globe.
Sort of like, yeah, in the background there, right? Like I'd be like Starman.
And so the phase that we're talking about, or the roaster phase, I call that like the third phase of it. I think the current phase or the fourth phase is like at one point they stopped all that, right? So you didn't get a 2% discount on a next gen roaster. At one point they stopped all that, and now the current phase is in play, which is you can still, if you buy a Tesla today, you can still get your friends and to use your referral code, which if you guys can't find that, it's in that little loot box. You can copy and paste and send like text messages or emails to your friends that are wanting to buy a vehicle. But when they use that, what they're doing now is every month they're giving away a Model Y, I believe, in a random drawing. And every quarter they're doing a random drawing for a next generation Roadster. So that's the current program. It's kind of like this lottery process now. It's not guaranteed that every referral equates to some sort of discount, but it's a lottery process. And until Tesla changes something, that's the current program that we've been in for a while now. Andy, how long has it been? Maybe a year now that I want to say they stopped that program sometime in 19.
I want to say it's been almost a year and a half that the new program, I think, because what they did is they ended it like not too long after I became the top referrer. They basically ended the referral program. Like they killed it off. Like Elon was like, okay, it's too much and we're ending it and for good. And then they brought it back like 6 months later. So I want to say it was like mid 2019 is when they.
Oh, you're right. They stopped it for a while. The referral program was dead for a few months.
They had to. I remember Elon came out on Twitter and basically was like, we are paying way too much money for these Model 3 referrals, right? The Model 3 was what broke the back because like they didn't have margin on Model 3 at that point. Like they were like low key losing money on Model 3s as they ramped. And people were winning Roadsters off cars they were losing money on. And like they got to the point where they're like, okay, nope, this is insane. We've lost our mind. I'm so glad they brought it back because it was sad when they canceled that for a minute. It was like, damn. Yeah, not that we wouldn't have like perked it anyway. It was just, I don't know. I felt like it was a sad moment.
I was totally wrong too, because I made a video about this kind of explaining like how I got like all my referrals in 2 months. And basically I was like, the reason they were ending it was because they couldn't give away all these free supercharging miles. But I was kind of looking at it as if like, oh, you're getting all these Model 3s that are hitting the road, and like if all these people are getting free supercharging miles, they're just going to be using the superchargers, and that would just cause a bad experience for all Tesla owners. I was like, I thought that was the main reason. It probably was because they're giving away all these Roadsters, but
80 plus Roadsters.
Yeah. So So I did an updated video this year about kind of talking about the referral program again, and going back to it as I was researching it is like somebody at Tesla knows something. Like they killed it, and then brought it back, giving away the same prizes, even though less frequently. You know, it's more of a raffle system, so they're giving, but they're still giving away free Roadsters, 4 free Roadsters a year, 12 free Model Ys. So like they obviously know something like that we don't know, or they know that it's working. They know that it's worth it. Somebody crunched the numbers, or maybe it's just Elon who wanted to bring it back. I think somebody probably sat down and kind of convinced Elon's like, hey, let's bring this back, but in a different giving away, like different structure.
Here's what it is, Andy. Tesla, not like by far right now, is probably the #1 brand in the world. Over the past decade that I've been involved with them, like they're Nike, Starbucks than anything. I think what people don't realize is Tesla timed it perfectly. The whole social media movement, YouTube blowing up the last decade, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Tesla, and it wasn't on accident. This was all Elon, dude. This is, again, his experience from PayPal. They basically, it's like they did the exact right thing. This whole like non-marketing marketing was genius. Like if you look back to the past decade, the ramp that they did of Model S, of the Model X, and then the debacle, which was Model 3, you know, they're going through production hell. What consistently kept that demand in place and high all the time was actually people like you, Andy. Like, and Tesla's current brand that they celebrate, the reason that Tesla was able to go to Kazakhstan with no issues is Elon Musk is the number one celebrity in the world, and Tesla is the number one brand in the world. Like, you mentioned Tesla anywhere you go, and it's like red carpet service. But a lot of that is Tesla utilized social media in the right way better than any brand or any company out there, in my opinion. So I think that's what, and I hope, I want to like finish this podcast by talking about like, Andy, what as the number one referrer, I mean, over 1,240 plus referrals. That's insane, dude. I don't think there's even a close second. Ben Sullins and Kim from Like Tesla, like, and these are all are very close friends. I mean, you guys have like led this stuff, but like, what do you hope as the top referral in the world, if Tesla was to revise the referral program and the success that you've seen over the next, you know, couple of years, what do you hope the referral program looks like? Or do you think they should just maintain where it is today, Andy?
Yeah, first of all, like I just want to shout out like all the OG Tesla owners, Tesla YouTubers. Like they were, I don't think like I'm better than them at anything as far as like selling, referring Teslas. I just happened to, you know, stumble, like be in the right place, right time with Model 3 and all that stuff, and like my YouTube channel. So like shout out to Ben and Kim and all them and all the original.
Oh, and Marquez having 420 referrals yesterday. Do you remember that?
Dude, there's a conspiracy going on there. I'm going to find out.
It couldn't happen to a better guy.
Oh my gosh.
Marquez, dude, not only did he win Project Love Day, but yesterday when all the roasters are given out, there's definitely a conspiracy theory because Marquez had literally exactly 420 referrals.
Yeah,
in his loot box, which is amazing.
Yeah. So we need to make sure nobody uses Marquez's link. So don't use
anymore. Yeah.
Don't use Marquez's referral link. Use mine. No, I'm just kidding.
Use his link. We're gonna have it canceled. 420 is the perfect number. He's probably got more than enough miles for a lifetime, and just needs to end right now. Marquez's. This is the call to have Marquez's referral link now canceled.
Yeah, let's just cancel.
Watch this trend on Twitter tomorrow, and he wakes up to see cancel MKBHD, and it's not what you think it is.
Right.
We love Marquez, by the way.
Marquez is awesome.
With MKBHD, we're massive fans.
Yeah, shout out Marquez. But no. I have massive respect for anybody, all those people, anybody who's in the top, 500 for like, it is hard. Like it's not easy to get people. I think about getting people to buy a $50,000+ car, and they were, the originals were getting people to buy almost $100,000 cars, doing Model S's and Model X's. But yeah, as far as like the future of the referral program, you know what? I think obviously, like I said, obviously somebody knows something at Tesla that knows that it's working for them. I honestly haven't seen anybody win like one of the new roadsters through the new raffle system, lottery system. I haven't seen proof of that. Now there was that one, I think somebody did a video, was it Tesla Raj, I think, like talked to one of the Model Y, recent Model Y winners. Yeah. So it's happening. They're giving away these cars, as far as like we know for sure they've given away Model Ys. Haven't seen any of the roasters, but obviously the roaster's not out yet. So I don't know how you would know about that. I don't know if they signed something, but like giving away 4 roasters a year, you got to think like 4 roasters a year, 12 Ys a year, giving away free cars for Tesla, I think is probably the best solution right now going forward. I don't think they'll ever go back to like at the beginning, like remember when you said like they were giving out like $1,000 to each person. They probably won't go back to that, but like, yeah, I mean, they are to the point where like they're solidifying they're I guess they're polishing their production process for Model Y, and you got a Cybertruck coming. So maybe the Cybertruck will be a prize going forward, which would be cool. I mean, I think the way they're doing it now is perfectly fine. Obviously, people are going to call me biased just because I'm winning 2 roadsters. So, but I honestly, and me, not just me, I know like Ryan, I know a lot of people who are winning roasters are really going to be very charitable with them. Like they're going to like give rides. I'm going to give rides to people. I'm going to make videos about it. We're going to make content about it. Obviously people like Marquez is going to make content about it. So I think it's just a win-win for Tesla and the customers. And like you said, Tesla is like the most popular brand right now. I mean, just think of everything that's going on with all other companies. I mean, if Apple had not started when they started, they would be similar to Tesla, I think. But like, I think Tesla and Apple are very similar in a way, but like the one thing that separates Tesla and Apple is just like Tesla does not spend the marketing dollars that Apple does.
And I think
and
there's
Tesla,
one thing too, is that Apple lost Steve Jobs too soon, right? Like the cult following around Jobs, again, it's been, gosh, a decade, I think, since he's died now. So people forget, but like the cult following around Jobs was real, and for good reason, right? The guy innovated everything he touched. Like he took on Disney with Pixar, so much so that Disney was like forced to buy them, because like that's a funny thing that people don't realize, that Steve Jobs' wealth came from Disney, from the sale of Pixar to Disney, not Apple, because he had given up all his shares before coming back later. So like the amount of money he made off Apple was insignificant compared to what he did with Pixar. But Steve Jobs was this guy who you just like, he had that thing. And for him, it wasn't engineering like Elon Musk, it was product development and marketing. But like, he was a larger than life character, and that there was no giving up. He didn't give a shit. He was going to do it. And I think if Jobs was still alive and still the spokesman with the brand, I think we would have probably a different experience with them than with just Tim Cook, who like we never hear anything from, and he just grinds away operational efficiency in the background, has made Apple a $2 trillion company, which is amazing. But we don't have that public figure to identify with the brand. Like, I mean, you remember when Apple released the Think Different campaign? Do you remember that, Andy?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
How cool!
He's probably too young. He's probably too young.
I was about to say I was probably like still 5 years old or something.
But man, yeah, I remember watching that, and I was like, wow. Like I never watched a commercial from a brand that made me feel something and that like identified with me in such a way. And I would say that even though they did spend money on traditional advertising and they produced these things, they created a story around their product and their brand and their identity that I don't think I've seen many brands ever do. I'd say Red Bull did an excellent job, because when you think of Red Bull, you think of action adventure, right? Like they spend money, but like you have a positive relationship with the brand. I think Apple did it, but like what Tesla has managed to do with like literally what you said, $0 in direct marketing. They don't make TV commercials. They barely even post on their own goddamn social media accounts. It's kind of stunning. But before we wrap up this episode, Andy, any final thoughts for the Tesla Geek Show?
Yeah, I want to definitely own all of the editions of Real Life Starman, obviously.
Gotcha.
And no, I honestly, if I want to say, like, if it weren't for Tesla, like I wouldn't even like be on this podcast right now. I wouldn't have met you guys. There's one thing about like being a Tesla owner is just like the community, and you've probably heard this so many times before. It's just like once you get a Tesla, don't think of it as a cult. Like there are so many awesome, amazing people in this community that, for the most part, they are just wanting to make the world a better place. And I think Tesla is just one of the best brands to bring people together in that type of light. And I'm so glad that people like you guys are just like doing this podcast about Tesla, and it's just like chill, laid back. And I think it's just like people like me who like started off doing a tech channel, and now I'm just doing a lot of Tesla videos. And I think it's just like, it opens the world. It opens your eyes to like a whole new world. And I've met so many awesome people. That's like one of the best things about owning a Tesla, is just meeting the people in the community. So
I literally could not agree more. So we're going to end the episode with that. Andy, thank you so much for joining us. And to everyone watching, thank you so much for being here with us on this week's episode of the Tesla Geek Show.